All aboard! Well, hello, and welcome to another editions of Shaky Hand Shed. And after my last video, I couldn't just leave it there. I had to return for another go. And luckily the East Lancs added some dates, so I could return to shoot these locals. And I made more of a day of it. Anyway, just coming up here on the line, this gap between these two tunnels on the East Lancs Railway was used to film the train robbery scene on Life on Mars, the series on BBC a while ago. It was a good old series and enjoyable. And here we're heading through what's known as Brooks Bottom Tunnel. And in my youth I did a lot of work on that, tamping ballast down before the line opened, working in pitch black with a generator, coughing me lungs up. Happy days in my youth. Victorian England, you can't beat it. Anyway, here we are being hauled by Sir Nigel Gresley, and it's heading back tender first. And occasionally the railway, when they get locals in, they'll put them round the opposite way round just to give photography variation for people. Unfortunately, they've ruined one of the good photography spots by building a station right in the middle of beautiful countryside where they used to open up. I know they've to make money, but it's ruined a nice photography point. And to a degree it's ruined, well, it's getting built up a piece of countryside anew when I was a kid. When the Class 40 old coal trains used to whiz through, because that was the last traffic on this line. You had Class 2s and Class 4 old coal trains whizzing up to whizzing up to old coal up to Rottenstall. Anyway, here's my first sight of what I really went to photograph. And it's heading past Signal Box at Bury South and headed into Bolton Street Station from Haywood, and it makes a nice shot through the bridge. It's at times like that I wish I'd took my telephoto lens, but hey ho, you can see the sheds in the distance where the car's parked. Further down is Buckley Wells shed. And here's where I did a lot of my shooting from. Not off the bridge, hey ho, but where the woman's standing in the grey coat. The gardens behind that is a superb vantage point. Alongside the fence you can see at the side of the signal, and the grey signalling equipment box is my spot where I photographed from. It gives you some interesting background pieces such as the signals, the box, etc. It's a nice shooting area, and here's the shot I went for. Well, one of the shots I went for, to get a nice shot of Britannia. I think I've achieved it with the steam just wisping over the signals. And Sometimes I wish they'd take the speed restriction sign out, but it does add a certain something to it. But it always gets in the way of the local photo. Like, I've not covered a lot up on it there, but sometimes it covers the numbers. Sometimes it covers the British Rail logo. But it just gives a nice little shot. You've got the signal box peeping out, you've got a house roof across the back. You've not too much factory interference to date it. This is a black and white conversion, so I could bring the steam out. What I do, I shoot on motor drive, so I can give myself a few options. And this one, it's a beautiful photo. If I zoom into it, it's got every detail there. It's gorgeous. It's pin sharp, and there's a colour version. And it's been had a fair bit of editing, because it's a difficult shooting circumstances there, because the sun's shining at you. Behind me I could get it perfect, as you'll see on some later shots, but it's a tricky area for shooting, and you have to do post editing on them to get the best out of them. But I'm happy, and that's facing the other way a bit. It was only really a grab shot, there were no checking exposures or anything. It would just flip round and take the shot. In a way I am prepared for it, but it's still okay, I guess. I'm not a real big fan of shooting them from the rear. Oh, matron. But yeah, it's okay, what do you say? And also, while I'm there, I look out for other things to photograph, infrastructure, etc. And this signalling set is a nice little set, and it for if you're building model railways and, like me, you're an artist, it gives details for when you're doing paintings or models. And looking up the tracks in the opposite direction from the same spot, I got a nice little genty coming in, and that's the difference of the lights. The other way is a bit more atmospheric, I guess. But this, you've got all the cloud detail, you've got the steam detail, and here we are a bit closer in. Again, nice, it's nice little picture of the tiny engines for a change, a little 3F, a little genty, doing its job, nice little dining train in sort of Great Western colours. They've painted it, so it looks pretty good really. The headboard says the dining experience, you'll probably see that better in, I think it's a closer up one. I've put another picture of the genty up because it is a nice shot. And there's a closer up one of the genty. Dining of distinction. I'll have to do that one day because I live close by. I live near enough. If I wanted to, it's a walk away. But why walk when I've got a bus service? Aha! But yeah, they're a quite pretty little engine, the genty. And I also got Sir Nige again. Although I weren't as happy with this one. The sun come out with a vengeance behind it, and it's burnt out a lot of the details because I had to bring out the shadows to get the best out of it. But you lose the highlights, you can't drop them down enough to get shadow detail. You can do a bit better if you convert it to black and white, and here I've done just that, so I can drop the highlights down, etc. and give detail in the steam, so that's actually a quite nice shot of St Ige. It doesn't look bad in that one. And this one had to be taken, it were begging for it. I walked past and saw the steam curling past Britannia, so I shoved the camera onto motor drive, multiple shots, and just fired away. I had a group of about 50 shots, so I could pick which part the steam covered Britannia the best. And again, another rearward shot. It was after all the engine had gone to shoot. So, whilst waiting for St Ige to come in to go home, I photographed it again. And it does look well, it's a beautiful engine. And when I got back, I photographed a little grotty gronk stood at the platform. I couldn't resist it. I've actually cab ridden one in BR service when my dad were a guard. I got a cab rider one. Anyway, thank you for watching, and tatty pie everyone, tatty pie.